Hey guys, Q&A Friday. So I have a couple questions here that I'll read through. Question 1. What do you think about straps for novices? So I think they're referring to like the lifting straps. I don't necessarily think you need them right off the hop. Usually they would be really good for somebody whose grip strength was failing them and they wanted to continue to challenge their back. So I would think for novices, they're not really a necessary thing to take on. More geared towards advanced lifters. I would say at that level, you could integrate some straps to help some progression there. Question 2. If you get stronger on the pendlay row and stiff-legged deadlifts, would my deadlift go up without training it? I would think it would. The pendlay row is putting you into flexion, so you're definitely going to be hitting your erectors. Your core is going to get a lot of work. Stiff-legged deadlifts will definitely hit your hamstrings, so if you break the movement apart, you'll be challenging those things. But to effectively get a better deadlift, you would want to do deadlifts. And I'm assuming they're referring to a conventional deadlift, not like a Romanian or stiff-legged deadlift. So I would say to get a stronger deadlift, at the end of the day, you want to be deadlifting. Question 3, do you have to follow a program to make gains? If you just focus on weaknesses, you must still make gains, right? Okay, really depends what we're asking here. So I would recommend a proper periodized model of a program to really see progression. If you're just going in the gym and working out, yeah, you probably will see some minor changes, but really to ensure that you're seeing the most effective changes, you would want to program it and record your results and allow yourself to see that effective progression. Because what can happen if you're not writing it down or you don't really have a program is you can do the same workout over and over and over and over again, and you might forgot the weights you used, or maybe you're not progressing at a 5% or 10% or whatever it is. So I would say best case scenario is to follow a program, a proper program, and then from there you're going to see the best results. Number 4, aliens. I don't know what that means. So aliens. Do I believe in aliens? Well, I think that it's a possibility. Like there's a lot out there. So who knows? Do you think, number 5, do you think the 1,000-pound club is a good indicator for an intermediate stage? My deadlift is my weakest, being only 365, but I'm still in the 1,000-pound club. Any thoughts? Well, your deadlift usually is probably one of the heaviest lifts. So if you're pulling 365, then you must be benching or squatting 400, and then that's in the 7, so bench 225. Yeah, I mean, I'd say those are good numbers. It really depends on what your goal is at the end of the day. So if your goal is just to move as much weight as possible, you're doing good. I would say break it down, work on your weak points, and go from there. Number 6, Rich Piana, is he natty? Was he natty? Rich Piana was not natty. No, Rich Piana, if you don't know, he was a really popular YouTube bodybuilder. He was Mr. California at one point. He was a spokesman for Mutant, and he founded 5%. He walked around at about 270 and had abs, so no, he was not a natural or a vegan. Number 7, do you think it's possible to build a good physique by doing incline bench, bent over rows, and Romanian deadlifts? Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely build a good physique doing those. Those are all compound movements, and they're going to span pretty much full body. Um, Going from nothing to doing those, you will see fantastic results as long as you're performing it properly. Number 8, high reps versus low reps. So high repetitions versus low repetitions. Usually if you're using high repetitions, you're not using the same kind of load as you would if you were using low repetitions. So lightweight versus heavyweight. There's 2 different types of hypertrophy if we're talking about gaining muscle. So myofibular, so really deep muscle tissue, versus sarcoplasmic, which is more like cellular expansion. And those are achieved through the high reps versus low reps. So myofibular would be a low repetition, heavy weight. You're going to develop dense muscle tissue, versus if you're doing like high repetitions within reason, like if you do a set of like, I don't know, 20, it's not as effective. High repetitions, 15, 6 to 15 is often a good zone. And then 1 to 6 is your low reps. So that would be your strength zone. And then 6 to 15, you're still in hypertrophy zones, but there's a lot to that. But I would recommend you want to hit every portion, I think, through a workout program, and you can, periodize. At some points you're working on strength, at some points you're working on volume, to give you the best results. But you can't even incorporate it all through a single session. Number 9, I get good results combining volume and intensity in the same workout instead of doing it on different days. Thoughts? I do PPL. So I just kind of discussed that. Hi, Aaron. It's Burger Week in Halifax, and Aaron got a Vandal Donut burger. This is a burger on a donut. And Jax wants that. No Jax. All right, number 9. I get good results from combining volume and intensity in the same workout instead of doing it on different days. Thoughts? I do push-pull legs. That's a good setup. That's what I used to run for quite some time. I would start with heavier movements and then progress into more volume through my training session. I would do push-pull legs. On my push day, it was primarily upper body. Well, push-pull legs, because I have done splits where it's just push-pull, but on my push day, it'd be chest, shoulders, triceps, and pull. Back biceps, legs, obviously, you're just hitting your legs, and abdominals as well. It is a good setup. It's always good to periodize and move through different things as well. All right, number 10. Hey Lee, if I ditch the regular barbell squat for the front squat, do I miss much? Or would I need to incorporate more movements to compensate? Front squat's a great variation. It's going to limit the amount of weight that you can move in a squat. When you're front loading, your abs have to be way more active. Your upper back has to be supporting the load. A lot of people don't have proper mobility to get into that position, so they end up doing something like this, which isn't the best case scenario. You really want to have the bar underneath, and mobility is a big limiter for this as well. Range of motion is quite good, and the focus on the lift itself, front squat I find is going to hit your quads a little bit more, whereas a back squat, you hit the glutes and total kind of leg, whereas front squat's more anterior chain. From my personal experience, I don't know, some people may disagree. I would recommend, if you're looking for training your legs, and you can do the barbell back squat, I would say that's probably the king of leg exercises, in my opinion. Front squat variations are great. Lunge variations are great. Leg press, hack squat, everything. So don't neglect anything, because if you're able to do everything because it'll make you stronger overall. 11, best way to effectively progress on a flat bench without using bands or strange techniques. So with this one, I just go back to the basics, like really look at your setup. Because if you're not set up properly, then you're not going to be able to be as efficient with the movement. I would do more frequency, so training a bench press multiple times per week. If you want to get better at any given lift, you want to do that lift as much as you can. So bench pressed 3 times a week, and then vary your intensity. So maybe have one heavy day, have a moderate volume, and then or moderate lightweight, and then have a lightweight, and work on speed. So try to move the bar as fast as you can and exploding up. You can also do different angles, variations, different angles on the bench press as well. Do decline press, do incline press. But if you want to get a good flat bench, you have to flat bench more. And you would want to just program it so you're not destroying your chest on each chest workout. So I'd say aim to hit a bench press 3 times a week. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a good model. There's lots of different types of it. So there's OMAD, so that's 1 meal a day. There's 16-8, which I think is called like lean gains. You have 5 and 2, where you do 5 days eating normally, 2 days of the week you eat sub 500 or 500 calories. There is the warrior diet, where it's the you're fasting for most of the day, and then you have like a 4-hour window where you eat. The benefits associated with intermittent fasting, I mean, they've done lots of studies, and if we're just talking about specific weight loss, that's the cat. The cat's playing with something. If we're doing it for weight loss, well, the studies show that, it's not more successful than just eating in a caloric deficit. So one of the benefits for doing intermittent fasting, other than weight loss, is for longevity, is they're saying is quite good. It's good to improve your insulin response. It's good for the gut biome. It gives the gut biome, your intestines, and all the bacteria in it a chance to relax and shut down. So those benefits associated with it it's been shown quite good. But as far as if we're looking at it just for like a weight loss thing, that it's not more successful in losing weight than just eating in a caloric deficit. I know people argue that it increases growth hormone and stuff like this, but it's not the type of growth hormone that's going to cause you to just start growing. Another benefit that I did leave out was, multiple day fasting has been shown to actually help with your immune response and regenerate the immune system. So I think there's other benefits to intermittent fasting other than just, weight control, because let's say if you do fast 16 hours a day, then you have an 8-hour window where you are taking in food. And that's a smaller window than 12 hours. So if you're taking it in a restricted time frame, then you probably won't eat as much. So it can be good. Number 13, upper lower splits. Regardless if I'm mistaken or not, I like to hear your opinion on them. Are they effective? Absolutely. So with an upper lower, you're doing push and pull, chest and back, and accessories on one day. That's going to build a lot of muscle, burn a lot of calories. One of the benefits to doing upper lower is you get a lot more volume through the week than if you're doing, a muscle split over 5 days, right? So if you did and most people probably do this, they have a chest day, they have a back day, they have an arm day, they have a shoulder day, they have a leg day. Well, you've just spent 5 days and you've only hit everything once. If your goal is to build, you would want to hit everything at least twice, and maybe potentially 3 times or more in smaller muscle groups like your delts, your biceps, forearms, calves, abdominals. You want to hit them multiple times per week to really give you a lot of growth. So Upper lower is quite effective to get the volume in and can help with hypertrophy as well. Number 14, GVT. So that's German volume training, unless you're advanced or intermediate. But what do you think about heavy, low reps, 3x3, 5x1 for the intensity session? Well, there's a lot going on in that sentence. German volume training's a great mass building program. It's one of the most effective ones on the planet. It's been around for a long time. It's 10 sets of 10 with a nice slow eccentric with the 4 seconds. So if I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm coming up for 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you're really getting a nice eccentric there, and you're doing 10 sets of 10 on that. And you would want to use that with like a squat, a bench press, a row, something where it's a big compound. I wouldn't recommend really just doing 10 sets of 10 on bicep curl. It'll probably burn your arms out pretty good, but I think anyone can use that to benefit. And as far as like the other portion of it, 3x3 and a 5 and a 5x1, maybe once a week you're training it. I think it would be effective to keeping your nervous system primed for strength. But at the end of the day, what is the major goal? If your goal is to build muscle, to build size, focus on GVT. If your goal is to build strength, focus on a 3x3, or switch it up completely and do a different model rather than trying to do 2 models at the same time. So earlier, question 9, push-pull legs, doing intensity and volume on the same day. I've done that. I've run it specifically, but you're not doing the 10x10 volume, and you're also not doing 5x1 in maximum intensity. You're kind of in the middle there. So if you're going to do strength, work with strength. If you're looking to build up size, do the GVT. All right, guys. Hopes this helps. Lots of different questions. I'm going to do another one, maybe 2 weeks. I'll let you guys know. Post your questions. Thanks to everybody who posted, even the people who posted about aliens or Rich Piana. And please like, share, subscribe, and have a good weekend.